Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to this English learning podcast. My name is Aaron, and I am very happy that you pressed play today and gave some time to yourself and to your English. Maybe you are listening while walking, maybe you are listening while cooking, or maybe you are just sitting in a quiet place and trying to relax. And whatever you are doing right now, I want you to know that I am really glad you are here. Because in this episode, I will share something that can change the way you think about learning English, and can also change the way you feel about fluency. Let me start by asking you a question. Have you ever worked hard on your English? Maybe listening to podcasts, watching videos, practicing words, and spending time with English every single day. But when the moment came to speak, your mind went completely blank, and no words came out. I am sure many of you have felt this way, and I want you to know that you are not alone, because thousands of learners face the same problem every single day. They feel like they are running on a treadmill, working hard, sweating, using energy, but not going forward. And then they ask themselves, am I really improving? Am I ever going to speak fluently? If you have ever asked yourself these questions, please take a deep breath with me right now, because you are not the only one. Many learners write to me saying things like, I listen every day, but I do not feel better. Or, I am learning slowly, and I do not see the result. And let me tell you something important. Both of these feelings are normal, because every learner's journey is different, and progress in English does not always look fast. But that does not mean you are not growing. Learning English is a little bit like waiting for the sunrise. At first, you sit in the dark, you keep waiting, and you feel like nothing is happening. And then, slowly, without you noticing, the sky becomes brighter and brighter, until everything is full of light. The same happens with English. You may think you are not improving, but little by little, your brain is learning, your ears are learning, and one day you will suddenly notice that you can understand more, you can speak more, and you can feel more. Confident this podcast episode today is for all of you who are still showing up, still practicing, still listening, even when it feels hard. And I want to tell you something that may surprise you. The thing you are already doing, which is listening, may actually be the most powerful skill of all, and listening can be the key that unlocks fluency for you. So today, we will talk about why listening is so important, and how you can use listening in a way that helps you to grow faster and more naturally. Now, let us begin with one very simple but very deep question. Which comes first, speaking or listening? Many learners think the answer is speaking, because they want to speak as soon as possible. But the truth is that fluency always begins with listening, not speaking. You cannot say what you have never really heard, and if you try to speak without listening enough, it will feel forced and very stressful. It is like trying to write music without ever hearing a melody. You will be guessing, and it will not feel natural. Think for a moment about babies. Babies do not start with grammar rules or vocabulary lists. They spend months only listening to their parents, listening to voices, listening to sounds, and listening to tone. They do this for a long time before they ever speak one word. And when they finally speak, it is not because they memorized something. It is because their ears have already heard those words thousands of times, and now their mouth is ready to copy them. That is why babies speak so naturally, because listening comes first. But when we are adults, we often skip this step. We feel impatient, we want to speak quickly, and we try to jump into speaking before giving our ears enough time to adjust to English. That is why fluency feels so difficult for many learners, because they forget that listening is the real foundation. So today, I want to guide you back to that foundation, and we will explore how deep and meaningful listening can change everything for you. Now, let us talk about the first important step, which is learning how to listen in layers. Many learners think that listening means playing an audio one time and trying to understand every single word. And when they fail to understand, they feel sad and defeated. But this is not the right way, because listening is not about understanding everything at once. It is about listening with different purposes. So here is what you can do. Take one audio clip and listen to it 3 times, each time with a different goal. The first time, just listen to understand the main idea. What is the topic? What is the mood? What are they generally talking about? Do not pause. Do not stress. Just let it flow into your ears. The second time, listen again, but pay attention to the structure. How are the sentences built? Which tense is being used? How is the rhythm of the speech? And finally, the third time, listen very slowly and carefully, and focus on the emotion and tone. Did the speaker's voice rise at the end of the question? Did they sound happy, sad, or tired? Did they emphasize some words more than others? When you listen in this way, you are training your brain to hear different levels of language, not only meaning, but also rhythm, emotion, and feeling. And this is what real fluency is, because fluency is not only about words, it is about how those words sound, how they are spoken, and how they carry feeling. Now, many learners think that after listening in layers, the next step is immediately to copy the words, but that is not the best way. If you copy too fast, you may sound robotic and unnatural. That is why I suggest a different technique, which I call shadowing with silence first. Imagine you are listening to a song for the first time. Do you start singing right away? No, you listen, you absorb the melody, you catch the rhythm, and only later you start humming or singing. The same is true for English. So when you listen to a sentence, pause and give yourself a moment to feel it. Do not rush to repeat it immediately. Sit with it. Let your brain feel the rhythm. Let your ears enjoy the sound. And then, when you are ready, repeat it slowly. This makes your speech more natural, because you are not just copying, you are really feeling the language. Remember, silence is not empty. Silence is preparation. But of course, listening one time or once in a while will not bring results. You must make listening a daily ritual. And when I say ritual, I do not just mean a habit or activity. A ritual is something special, something you protect, something you give importance to. For example, when I was learning, I promised myself that no matter how busy the day was, I would always give at least 15 minutes only to English listening. No multitasking, no distractions, only me, my headphones, and the language. Over time, this small ritual became a powerful habit. And you do not need an hour every day. Even 10 minutes of focused listening can shape your brain. The key is not how long, the key is how often. So, choose your moment. Maybe it is when you walk in the morning. Maybe it is before bed. Maybe when you make tea. But make sure it is a ritual that belongs only to you and your growth. Because when listening becomes your daily ritual, it becomes your anchor. And with that anchor, your English will grow stronger every day. Now, my friends. After you make listening a daily ritual, the next big question comes to your mind. What should I listen to? Because in today's world, there are so many choices, maybe too many choices, and this can make you feel lost or even tired. You open YouTube and you see thousands of videos. You open a podcast app and you see thousands of shows. You open social media and there are short clips everywhere. At first, you feel excited because there is so much English, but very soon you feel heavy, you feel stuck, and you do not finish even one video because you keep jumping from one thing to another. This is what I call content overload, and it can stop your progress instead of helping it. Asterisk. So what is the solution? The solution is not to listen to everything, but to listen with intention. You must choose carefully. You must curate what you listen to. The word curate means to select with care, like making a special playlist. So instead of listening to 10 different sources, just choose one or two that you truly enjoy. Pick a podcast that makes you smile, or a YouTube channel that feels interesting, or even this show if it helps you. When you choose one or two main sources, you create familiarity. You return again and again to the same voices, the same style, and the same rhythm. And when you do that, your brain begins to relax because it knows what to expect. And then your brain can go deeper, noticing small details, understanding tone, and remembering phrases. This is very powerful because fluency is not about wide listening. It is about deep listening. Imagine a garden. You cannot water every plant in the world, but you can water a few plants every day and watch them grow beautifully. In the same way, you cannot listen to everything, but you can go deep with a few voices, and that will help your fluency much more. So remember this rule: go deep, not wide. But after you build this strong base with your favorite voices, you must also learn to step outside of your comfort zone, because real English in the world is not always the same. It changes. It is fast. It is messy. It is full of emotion. People interrupt each other. They laugh. They use sarcasm. They speak with different accents, and sometimes they even mumble. So if you only listen to one style of English, you will stay inside a bubble, and that bubble will not prepare you for the real world. That is why the next step is to listen across different contexts. At first, keep it simple and safe with your favorite podcast or video. But once you feel comfortable, start to explore. Watch a vlog, listen to a speech, try a news story, or even watch a comedy show. You do not need to understand every single word. The goal is to train your ears to accept variety. Think of it like going to the gym. At first, you use light weights, slow movements, and easy exercises. But later, if you want to grow stronger, you must try new movements, faster exercises, and heavier weights. In the same way, if you want your listening skills to grow strong, you must let your ears hear many kinds of English. At first, this will feel difficult. Maybe you will sit and hear two people laughing and interrupting each other, and you will understand nothing. Do not worry, this is normal. In fact, this difficulty is a sign that you are training your ears. The more you listen to these different styles, the more your brain adapts, and slowly you will understand more and more. The goal is not perfection. The goal is adaptation. When your brain becomes comfortable with many voices, many accents, and many tones, then you are ready for the real world. Because the real world will not slow down for you, but you will not need it to. And this is the real magic of listening. Listening does not only help you understand, it also shapes how you speak. The more you listen, the more natural your own speaking becomes. You begin to copy the rhythm, the tone, the feeling of the voices you hear, and little by little, you stop sounding like a textbook and start sounding like a real speaker. So never underestimate the power of listening now. My dear friends, I also want to teach you some words that connect to this lesson. Because vocabulary is like small keys that open big doors. One useful word is underrate. To underrate something means to think it is less important than it really is. Many learners underrate listening, but listening is actually the most powerful skill. Another word is impatient. If you are impatient, you want things to happen very fast, and you feel upset when they do not. Many learners are impatient with fluency, but fluency takes time. Another useful word is overwhelm. To overwhelm means to feel there is too much happening and you cannot handle it. Many learners feel overwhelmed by all the content online. Another word that is useful here is curate. To curate means to carefully choose and organize. You must curate your listening sources instead of jumping everywhere. There is also the word paralyze. To paralyze means to feel frozen, unable to act because you are unsure. Too many options can paralyze a learner. Another helpful word is anchor. An anchor is something strong and steady that holds you in place. Your daily listening ritual can become the anchor of your English journey. And let me share another important word, mimic. To mimic means to copy someone, like copying their voice or behavior. Many learners mimic too fast, but it is better to listen deeply before you copy. There is also a nice phrase, let it wash over you. This means listen calmly, without trying to catch every single word. Relax and let the sound move through you. Another phrase is grow beyond your bubble. This means to step outside of your comfort zone and explore new things. And one more phrase is one size fits all. This means something designed for everyone, but not perfect for anyone. Fluency is not one size fits all, because every journey is different. Now, I want you to say some of these words with me. For example, repeat after me. Most people underrate how powerful listening can be. Say it again. Another one. Many learners get impatient when fluency takes time. Try it. Another. All that content online can overwhelm your brain. Say it slowly. Another. Curate your input so your brain does not get tired. Repeat that. Another. Too many options can mentally paralyze you. Say it with me. Another. Make your listening ritual the anchor of your learning. Repeat again. When you repeat these words and phrases out loud, they begin to live inside your voice, not just your mind. And the more you say them, the easier they become to use. So, my friends, remember this. Fluency is not only about speaking quickly. Fluency is about listening deeply, listening daily, and listening with purpose. It is about choosing carefully, building a base, and then stepping outside into variety. It is about training your ears so that your mouth can follow naturally. And when you do this, progress will happen, even if you do not see it immediately. So, my dear friends, let us bring everything together, slowly and carefully. Because I want you to remember this lesson, not only in your mind, but also in your heart. When you think about English, many people imagine that speaking is the most important part. But the truth is that speaking grows naturally out of listening. just like a tree, grows naturally from the soil. If the soil is rich and healthy, the tree will grow strong. If the soil is weak, the tree cannot grow. In the same way, if your listening is deep and rich, your speaking will grow strong without forcing it. I know many of you sometimes feel frustrated because you listen every day, but you feel like nothing is changing. I want to remind you again that this is normal. Think about the sunrise example we talked about before. For a long time, it looks dark and nothing happens, but suddenly the light appears. The same will happen to you. Even when you think nothing is happening, your brain is working quietly, your ears are training silently, and one day you will notice that you understand more than before, and you speak with more confidence. Let me give you some practical advice that you can use today. First, always listen in layers. Do not try to catch every single word the first time. Listen first for the general idea, then for the structure, and then for the emotion and rhythm. This way, your brain will slowly collect the language in a natural way. Second, when you practice shadowing, do not rush. Give yourself silence first. Let the language stay inside you, and then repeat it when you are ready. Remember that silence is not wasted. Silence is preparation. Third, make listening your daily ritual. It does not have to be long, even 10 minutes can change your brain, but it must be regular. Protect this time like something precious, because it truly is. Fourth, do not listen to everything. Curate your listening like a garden. Choose 1 or 2 sources you enjoy, and go back to them again and again. This will give you depth, and depth will give you fluency. And finally, after you feel comfortable, step outside your bubble. Listen. 2 different voices, different accents, and different styles. Because real English is wide and colorful, and your ears must be ready for it. Now, let us talk again about vocabulary. Because words are the tools that help you build your learning house. We already learned words like underrate, impatient, overwhelm, curate, paralyze, anchor, and mimic. Let me remind you once more, because repetition makes them stronger. Underrate means to think something is not so important, but in fact it is. For example, many people underrate listening, but listening is the real key. Impatient means to want results too fast. Many learners get impatient, but patience is necessary. Overwhelm means to feel like there is too much to handle. Too much content can overwhelm you. Curate means to select carefully. You must curate your sources. Paralyze means to freeze and do nothing because of too many choices. Anchor means something strong that holds you steady. Your ritual can be your anchor. Mimic means to copy someone's way of speaking. Do not mimic too fast. Listen first. We also talked about the phrase, let it wash over you. This means to listen calmly without stress. Another phrase was grow beyond your bubble, which means to leave your comfort zone and explore. And finally, one size fits all, which means something designed for everyone but not perfect for anyone. Remember, fluency is not one size fits all. Your journey is unique. Your path is special, and your growth is yours alone. Now I want you to say some of these sentences with me again. Repeat slowly, because saying them out loud helps your mouth and your brain work together. Say this: most people underrate how powerful listening can be. Again, many learners get impatient when fluency takes time. Another, all that content online can overwhelm your brain. Say, curate your input so your brain does not get tired. Another, too many options can mentally paralyze you. Say, make your listening ritual the anchor of your learning. Another, do not mimic too fast. Feel the rhythm first. And now, play the audio and let it wash over you. Say it gently. Listen to different styles to grow beyond your bubble. And finally, fluency is not one size fits all. Your journey is unique. When you repeat these words often, they will not only stay in your mind, they will also become part of your natural speaking. And every time you listen to English and repeat these ideas, you are moving one step closer to fluency. Now let me encourage you one more time, because motivation is important. Some days, learning English feels easy, and some days, it feels hard. Some days you feel excited, and some days you feel tired. That is normal, because learning a language is not a straight line. It has ups and downs, but what matters is that you keep going. Remember this, your progress is already happening even when you do not see it. Every time you listen, your brain learns something. Every time you listen, your ears grow stronger. Every time you listen, your future speaking becomes easier. So please, my friends, do not give up. Keep listening every day. Make it part of your life. Let it become as natural as drinking water or brushing your teeth. Do not listen with fear or stress. Listen with curiosity and joy. Let the sounds enter your ears. Let the rhythm flow into your mind, and slowly your mouth will begin to follow. Before we finish today's podcast, let me leave you with a very important thought. Fluency is not a race. It is not about speed. It is about connection. It is about listening so well that one day you can open your mouth and express yourself freely, because the words are already living inside you. And this will happen for you if you stay patient, stay consistent, and keep listening with love. So, my dear friends, that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you feel encouraged. I hope you feel calm. And I hope you understand that listening is not just practice, it is the path to fluency. Please remember to keep showing up every day, even when it feels slow, because your ears are learning more than you realize. One day you will see the light of your sunrise, and you will know that every minute of listening was worth it. Until we meet again in the next episode, keep listening, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. This is Aaron, wishing you success in your English journey. Goodbye for now, and keep growing.